Hi, everybody. My name's Tracy, and I'm very happy to be able to read a book with you today. This book is called The Ring Bearer, and it's by Floyd Cooper. Now, I have a virtual background here on my video, so every now and then it will show through on the book. Don't let it bother you. It'll just look like it's kind of see-through. I love the illustrations in this book. There's the title page. I wonder if anybody knows what that is. In some weddings, they have someone bring the wedding rings down front of the church to the aisle of the church or the synagogue or wherever else the people are getting married. And it kind of looks like my wedding ring, see? Again, I'm just going to show you this dedication page because I think the illustrations in this book are just beautiful. I'm going to show you the picture and then I'll read the page and then show you the picture again. And if you have the book at home, please follow along in your book. Mama is having a wedding and Jackson is worried. What will it be like to call Bill Dad and share stuff with Sophie, his new little sister? Things won't be the same around here anymore. Think he's thinking of anything in particular? That bike is pink. I think sometimes people assume a pink bike is probably a girl's bike. Maybe that's Sophie's bike. Jackson has an important job at the wedding, and he's not sure he can do it. Jackson's job is to take care of the rings. I think he looks a little worried about this job. I guess that's probably his mom over there. Or maybe just a guest at the wedding. I guess his mom wouldn't be out there. Bill walks by. Remember, Bill is the guy his mom is marrying. Pinching his hanky in the middle, he lifts it up, flips it, and folds it into his top pocket to sit like a pet bird. Jackson giggles, but he's still nervous. Mama's having a wedding, and Jackson has to carry the rings down the aisle. That's nice. I think Bill's trying to make him feel less nervous, don't you? And Bill's still trying to make him feel comfortable. Why the droopy shoulders? Bill asks as he lifts Jackson high and makes him tall. Jackson smiles on Bill's shoulders, but inside he thinks, Mama's having a wedding and I have to carry the rings, but I don't want to trip in front of everyone and mess it all up. Maybe Bill should carry the rings. He's still worried about it. Tall Jackson walks over to little Sophie. Tall Jackson, especially tall because he's on Bill's shoulders, right? Tall Jackson walks over to little Sophie, who is busy counting flowers. Sophie has an important job too. She has to carry the flowers. In some weddings, they call the person with this job the flower girl, and the person with Jackson's job the ring bearer, which is the title of the book. There's someone else going to come help them, I think. Grandpa helps them practice, shows them how to walk down the aisle, slow and steady. That way you won't trip, Grandpa says, like he knows just what's in Jackson's heart. But Jackson is worried anyway. He's practicing. That's always a good idea when you're nervous to practice. Sometimes I get nervous about messing up in front of people too. I have to figure out a way to calm down. And sometimes there are people like Bill and Grandpa who will help you calm down, right? There they go. The music starts and Sophie takes off. Grandpa nudges Jackson, gets him going a little, to get him going too. Jackson walks slow and steady while Sophie skips ahead, ignoring Grandpa's advice. I don't think she's worried. She's excited. Mama's having a wedding and Jackson has an important job to do. And no matter what Sophie does, he will not trip down the aisle. What do you think happens here? Want to take a guess? Jackson sees Sophie coming to a step, but Sophie only sees her flowers. Oh no, she's not watching where she's going. Jackson rushes to Sophie just as she trips on the step and catches her before she falls. Good job, Jackson. Now look, he does drop the rings for a minute, but he takes care of the more important thing and catches Sophie. People look happy. Jackson looks at Grandpop. Grandpop cheers. Mama and Bill cheer too. The whole wedding cheers. They're all cheering for Jackson. Because even though he dropped the rings, he caught his new little sister, and taking care of each other is more important than taking care of things usually. There's his mom, and that's a wedding dress. She has a veil, and there's his grandpa. Sophie smiles and grabs Jackson's hand. They walk together, slow and steady, the rest of the way. Now she's taking Grandpa's advice, isn't she? Going slow and steady. Sophie's, oh, sorry. Here's the picture. He's got the rings back on the pillow. Sophie stands next to her dad. Jackson waits for his mama, who is coming down the aisle now with Grandpa by her side, looking like the prettiest lady in the whole church. Jackson sneaks a peek at Sophie, making sure she's still okay. Think she's okay? I think she's okay. Thanks to him. Here comes his mom with her veil and her wedding dress. When Mama gets to the end of the aisle, she bends down next to Jackson. You're a great big brother, Jack, she whispers. Sophie is lucky to have you around. He doesn't look worried anymore. Why do you think he looks? I think he looks a little proud of himself. There's Bill and Mom. Oh no, wait. Yeah, there's Grandpa. I couldn't tell which at first. I think that's Bill and that's Grandpa. Okay. Looking at Mama and Sophie and Bill and Grandpa, Jackson is not worried anymore. He's not nervous when he reaches into his pocket for the rings. He's not nervous when he gives them to Mama and Bill. And when the preacher finally says, they're all a family now, Jackson knows deep in his heart that he doesn't have to be so nervous about important jobs. And he definitely doesn't have to be nervous about being a big brother. He feels confident. Mama got married and Jackson handled his job just right. Which job do you think they're talking about there? Being a big brother or being the ring bearer? Maybe both, but I think maybe being the big brother was the more important job. So that's the ring bearer. Thanks for reading it with me. Take care.